Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm setting things up. Just wanted to go over a couple recaps. Basically, today's recap, and then just over the weekend, and introduce this word, this Kaizen. So it's basically a Japanese philosophy. Basically, it's called Kaizen. It's just basically continuous self-improvement. That is literally what Kaizen is. So just daily improvements of your life, of what you got going on in life and everything. So just setting some things up. I just want to educate the public about what Kaizen is, because it's a very good philosophy. It's a very, very good philosophy to follow, because basically the journey to self-improve, to go up the ladder in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, is what I strive upon myself. I don't just talk about it. I'm actually doing it, in real time. So today, I was just doing some research, and shout out to actually Mr. Research as well. I call myself Little Research, Little Mr. Research, because research is, man, how it's very important. And when you talk about Kaizen, that is very much part of my self-improvement, learning things every day, researching things that I don't understand. So, for example, when you don't know something, it bewilders you. So, to break that mental block, you should just immediately research or ask someone a question so that bewilderness turns into understanding, and then less confusion. Because basically, ultimately, you want your mind to be just straight and narrow, and your focus to be straight and narrow. Anything that you worry about, because in the words of a lady by the name of Dr. Jewel Pookrum, she basically said a lot of times, because the brain works as a computer, if you don't understand something, it turns into confusion. So the best thing to do to fight that confusion is to research something immediately, as soon as possible, so that confusion turns into understanding. So that's what I try to do, just kind of naturally, because that's just what I do. Part of me, part of my sun sign being a Virgo, I research a lot of things, because constantly thinking, constantly, trying to find new answers to problems. Okay. So today, what I learned was quite interesting. And that was a video I did on Market Monday, which was the law of adverse possession. So what I want to do is I want to go more into detail with that, and, anything else that I've done this weekend. So before I get into that, basically, I've been, starting projects on my house, and I got some framing started, put the money up, and went to the hardware store a few times, got a couple needed lumber pieces, because what is going on is it's going to be a bedroom that's installed, and then also some of the framing, because my house is it was built in about 1918. So a lot of the framing is messed up. Some of the framing is kind of rotted out. So the carpenter, he's in there. I was helping him out, and that laser that you see in that video is actually something that is pretty cool, because as long as it's on a level platform, it'll give you perfect symmetrical leveling lines, so you can lay material in the proper uh, leveling, like straightness. Basically, you can lay your material straight as possible. Okay, so I got a few things that I'm trying to do. So mainly, as part of my video I did on how to rehab houses, I'm following my plan, which is the 7-step rehab plan. So what you saw in that video is part of that. I'm basically framing, because I got to do framing in the house to fix it up. The rehab step plan is basically according to what the house structure is, because some of those steps in that 7-step rehab plan that I talk about in my real estate videos, you can actually go straight to step 4. Because if you got a house that is like a C grade structure house, because see, it's a beautiful thing about what I just said. My people that follow me really, really hardcore, I don't have to explain myself when I say C grade structure. I've already did videos and I've explained that thoroughly on housing grades and neighborhood grades. So yeah, basically that the C grade structure house, you can go right to step 4 on the rehab step plan, and you could get right into actually uh, putting in drywall or repairing drywall, painting, and then go into fixtures. So I I'm trying to get to step 3, which is basically getting the plumbing done, getting the electrical done, and HVAC and stuff like that. So I'm gonna be on step 3 for probably, I would say, 60 days, 60 to 90 days, because that house that I have. Hey, what's going on, Soul Shader? So yeah, I really love real estate. I love stocks too, but I'm willing to pull out most of my money in my account, in my brokerage account, to buy real estate. The reason why is because I can always go back into the market, but real estate is kind of unique, because you can get a property that is like a golden opportunity. In order to jump on it, you kind of have to, like, you got to use either funding to get it, whereas stocks are unique too, because you depending on when you can get in, you want to get in ideally when the stock market is low. If you're just a typical trader, if you're doing options, I mean, it kind of like, doesn't matter depending on where you're going with it. But I really like real estate, and I kind of jump into it when I can. Right now, I'm actually trying to get another property, so I just filled out some paperwork for another property to go walk in it to do a walkthrough, and that property is near my children. So I'm actually going to probably get another property within the next month or two. Now, if I get another property, I'm going to have to pump the brakes a little bit on the Indiana property. But yeah, I basically man, real estate's been my passion for the longest. Soul Shader says, let's see here. I was able to buy more Neo stock, and then finally, man, yeah, welcome aboard, man, to the TD Ameritrade. TD Ameritrade. See, here's the thing. I'm gonna talk to you about TD Ameritrade. Now, I could buy stocks in other countries and buy stocks in China. Man, Europe, Canada, yeah, China, India, Africa. Yeah, so like one thing I like about TD Ameritrade is they're more wide open than other platforms. And then they have you, now that you have TD Ameritrade, you want to immediately download Thinkorswim. So Thinkorswim is one of TD Ameritrade's golden um, horses, basically. One of their golden nuggets that they have, a part of their brokerage platform, is that you have this TD Ameritrade is basically a trading system. They have their own trading system, so you definitely, man, want to get Thinkorswim um, and set that up. It's a couple videos you can look at toward how to set it up, set your charts up, set your scans up and stuff like that. Because that's one of the beautiful things about TD Ameritrade as well, is that Thinkorswim actual software that they actually have. So but they it's a brokerage account. It's a wide open. It's one of the most wide open brokerage accounts. I mean, they just got bought out by Charles Schwab, but TD Ameritrade is a full access brokerage house. So they're pretty open. I like interactive brokers too. Actually, interactive brokers, a lot of people don't know this. Interactive brokers is one of the first companies to actually open the actual online trading software. They have probably most likely patents for actually the first automated or not automated, but online trading platform. So the first online trading platform is by the gentleman that actually started Interactive Brokers. Okay, but TD Ameritrade has more access in my dealings with between the two. TD Ameritrade is more wide open, less restricted as Interactive Brokers. Yeah. So, Thinkorswim is basically a trading software. That's what is special about Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim is like, look at Thinkorswim is like, so you got people that are professional traders. It's basically um software that connects directly to your TD Ameritrade account, and you can trade with it. I'm gonna tell you another thing, because I'll be working a lot. But one thing that's special about Thinkorswim is that I like. So I don't have cable. So basically, Thinkorswim, in their software, they have a TV, and it's connected to CNBC. So you get live trading news uh, directly from CNBC for free, just by having a TD Ameritrade account and Thinkorswim. Okay, so the brokerage companies that I've worked for, that I actually have done IT projects for, such as UBS, JP Morgan Chase, um, what's the other one that I've done work for? It's a Swiss company. Can't think of the name of it, but the most of the brokerage companies that I've done IT projects for, all of the offices have a TV in it, and it's directly access to CNBC. You get that inside, integrated with Thinkorswim. It's a very beautiful thing, because you kind of get a lot of these companies CEOs to actually talk about what's going on with their company. You get different analysts um, that give interview, that they'll go on there for interview, and up and coming companies and stuff like that, as well as stock news, live ticker trading, symbols, all of that, that you will get from CNBC. It's free 99 through Thinkorswim. And then don't get me wrong, Thinkorswim is a monster. Okay, of different things you could do. You can actually set up. They have a very good scan system that you can find opportunities with Thinkorswim. Their scanning tool on Thinkorswim is pretty good. It's like it gives you a run for your money. With the being that it's free, it's very very good, and they have very good charts. A lot of different ways you can set up Thinkorswim. You actually Thinkorswim is just a tool within itself that you could literally go from being a novice trader to a professional trader with just using Thinkorswim. I mean, it's a monster, So, and that's one of the good things about having a TD Ameritrade account. So, but back to real estate. I basically, I got about, like I say, in the next 90 days, the plumbing, the electrical, and then also the HVAC installation. That all of that I just said is talking about $5,000 to $6,000 worth of material, labor costs. It like the basement, it has nothing in there, and then also I have to get the sewage rotted out to the main sewage line. So, man, it's like a lot of work. So step 3 alone is going to cost me about $5,000 to $6,000. So it's going to take me a few months to get that caught up. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm trying to actually get another piece of real estate somewhere else in a very lucrative area. Actually, I'm trying to get it. It's in a like C grade neighborhood, and it's it's sort of, I want to even say like maybe B minus because where it's at, it's very very well to do and nice. So it's going to be on a land contract as well, kind of costly, but it's a good opportunity. So I'm gonna waiting for the access codes to go look at that property. And another thing is that going back to the adverse possession law that I was talking about earlier today, that is amazing, man. I wanted to talk a little bit more on that because let's say you got like a property that it's a friend of the families or somebody that and like everybody knows somebody that has a property, or they know somebody that, okay, they grew up with somebody that's left the property vacant for a long time, and they know the history on the property, but they just don't know how to acquire that property. Well, that's where the adverse possession comes in. The adverse possession law comes in with the proper real estate attorney. Because here's the thing about everybody needs, if you're in real estate, you need a real estate attorney. If you're in business, once you achieve a certain level, you really want to have an attorney. Because see what attorneys are good for. This is what attorneys are good for. Attorneys are good to it's kind of two-pronged. They're good to make things legal, and then to protect your ass. Okay? And what I mean by protect your ass is basically for them to actually make sure that you're doing things legally with the proper paperwork. They, coach you on how to do things properly. You're in essence protecting your ass, because if you just go ahead and just do anything right without legal representation, and also the proper legal way about doing it, then you open up the world to all kind of risks, because if you don't have the proper paperwork to do a lot of things, you open up the risk of all kind of things. Like you just kind of open up Pandora's box. So literally, with the real estate attorney and actually doing your due diligence on the property, basically by finding out about the property taxes. The property taxes tells all the story with these vacant houses and stuff. When you see that the property taxes are not paid, and then sometimes properties actually reach tax sales and they still don't get purchased for whatever reason, because maybe the taxes are too high or whatever the case may be, and nobody buys the property. So by getting an attorney and actually setting up some type of, like, after you do your due diligence, and you get an attorney because you really want to, you made a decision that, yeah, you're gonna go try to get this property. It's vacant, nobody is claiming it, nobody's coming around this property. So the attorney, once you get to the level where you're gonna get an attorney, you get the property's PIN number, you write down the address and everything. What the attorney's gonna do is gonna draw up adverse possession paperwork in your state to actually make this legal. So they're gonna start the process. So I think that, and it depends on your state. Basically, what the attorney is going to do is draw up the paperwork for you, so you can basically get the paperwork endorsed by the basically your county's recorder's office. And once that gets recorded, it's a legal document that is showing that you are staking an adverse possession claim timeline to actually procure this property. Right, yeah, like if you just go into a property. Yeah, I lost connection. But yeah, one of the things I like about, when the law is balanced and fair, okay, that that is an actual the law of adverse possession. It makes sense, and it seems to be balanced and fair. Okay, and when you follow it, you most likely will get the property under your possession after you meet the requirements. Now, just doing it without a lawyer, just gangster and a pirate in a property, just taking your nasty ass and just going in a bando and just living in there, not paying the taxes, not fixing it up, not doing anything to, like, help the actual house get up to code and everything like that. That's not what I'm talking about. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about squatting in the house and not doing nothing. What I mean is basically you have a clear objective plan to acquire the property, as if you're taking over a property through means of actual ownership, and you pay the taxes, you fix the house up, you take care of the property, and you feel the requirements in your state for adverse possession. That that is what that is what I mean about that law. Like if you just trying to just basically go in a property and not actually do anything, to make it better or anything like that, that ain't what I'm talking about. So I mean, that's something totally different. So give me just a second. I'm just sending something. But yeah, I mean, I'm actually gonna use this law. I don't know when, but I'm sure I will, because there's so many properties in my area that basically I can use the law, this law, in without fail. What's going on, SS excels? So it's so many vacant properties that it's just man. That's why I had to talk about it, because somebody can take this information and just literally hit the ground running, and actually within like a couple weeks contact a lawyer, draw up some paperwork, and get the ball rolling on this actual using this law to lay the groundwork to actually acquire a property. Because see, here's the beautiful thing about this law. Okay, you actually get property you can utilize for your own residence, right? And after the timeline is expired, you can actually acquire the property. It'll be your property. And now here's the reason why this makes sense for everyone involved, even the owner on record. Okay, well, the owner on record, he doesn't actually have any rights. Well, he still has the rights to the property, but if he hasn't pay his taxes, or her or she hasn't paid her taxes, and you come in and pay the taxes and also improve the property, you and show claim that you actually have done that, the property taxes alone, when you pay someone else's property taxes, and you show that you've paid, right, through a checking account, or you actually show that you paid, the a person can't just be like, and this is where the lawyer comes in, and it becomes important. A person can't just come out of nowhere and be like, "Hey, I want my house." Yeah, they can, but they can actually fight an adverse possession claim. But what they actually have to do, if you was in the property for a year or two, and they were just on a sabbatical in South Africa somewhere, and then they just came back to America, and they like, "Oh man, what you doing in my property?" Well, you done paid the taxes that were back taxes owed, and you've already paid the taxes for 2 years on this property. They have to pay you those taxes back that you've already paid, and they can counter your adverse possession claim. Okay, they can, but they can't just counter it without you them coming out of pocket, because basically what you did was you took care of their responsibilities while they left the property vacant. Okay, So that's the good thing about this law is that it is certain, and a lawyer will tell you what the repercussions is for this process, because obviously someone that actually owns a property, they can get a lawyer, or them themselves represent themselves and counter your adverse possession claim. But ultimately, you got to think about it. Like, for example, where I live in um you know where I am, honestly, ain't nobody coming out the woodworks in Detroit or Gary, Indiana, talking about, hey man, what you doing in my property, man? You done fixed it up and everything, man. What you doing? Because see, here's the thing. They would have already known. People ain't dumb. They would have already known. One, they probably ain't even coming around the property. Okay? Who knows? They might have died. They might have went to jail for 20, 30 years. They might have, left the country. They might have left the state. Whatever the case of the person the owner on record, they ain't even coming around the property, most likely. They have left. It's like certain towns that, you know, they have left those properties. They don't care about them. They don't care what happens to them. You don't even have to worry about an adverse possession counterclaim, because most of the properties that are in widespread areas where they're vacant, most likely, 9 times out of 10, most likely that nobody, even the owner on record, doesn't even care. And then they automatically know that you've already fixed the house up, you've already paid the taxes. They probably ideally think that you already got the property through a tax sale, because that's where the property will ultimately go had you not even started an adverse possession claim and got the property. So I mean, that's just what I'm saying, as far as it's a way where you can actually get a property that is just sitting vacant. You don't have to worry about all of the ownership stuff, because all you have to do is basically reach out to the owner on record via a certified letter, and make, the lawyer will tell you all of the steps that you need to do. But basically, you got to make a notarized letter that you sent an actual letter to the owner on record saying that you are using adverse possession. You are going to trespass this house and use adverse possession to do it in order to claim the property in the future, because it is vacant. You could even show pictures that of the damage that it's been doing and everything like that, and how much of an eyesore it is. And you're just using this law, and then you put in the codes. I mean, the lawyer's gonna draw up the paperwork. They're gonna, when they put in some type of claim, they put in the state statutes for their law of adverse possession and everything like that. And it's just something that you gotta reach out to the owner on record, stating that you tried to reach out to them to let them know of your um, pursuant to this claim of this property. Now, if they don't reach back out to you, you can still um, proceed with your adverse possession claim. But like I say, get a lawyer. Definitely don't try to do this yourself, because you don't want to get in no trouble with nobody, man. You might try to take Pookie House or Nuck Nuck in them, and then Nuck Nuck go get that sawed off shotgun, and then you be running out of your house or running out of his house, because you got people, man, that just be like, man, they'll leave some garbage, right? Because ultimately, that's what people have so much, they whatever the reason, they have houses like garbage, like they'll just leave their garbage, and and leave it in the front of the house, but they don't want you to get it. But it's garbage. But it's like, ultimately, um, yeah, they left a property, and in this case, they still they ain't paid for the taxes. They haven't done anything to cut the grass or anything like that. But in their mind, they still that's their property. And it is. Until the property gets conveyed to another owner, it's still their property. But when you get the lawyers involved, you can call the police because you've already done certain covenants within the law to state claim. This person will have to counter that adverse possession claim, and even if they counter it, like I said, they have to pay you for any property upgrades that you've done. At the very least, the taxes that you paid. You might have paid $15,000 in taxes. And then here's another thing. When you pay somebody else's taxes, it ain't just they just pay you their taxes back. Like you pay 15, let's say you pay 15,000 in taxes. It ain't no, oh, here go your 15,000 back. We cool? No. They have to pay you a premium on what you paid the taxes. So like as a fee, like for you to do them a favor, because you're doing them a favor by paying their taxes. So it's a certain amount of basically percentage that they have to pay you on top of what you pay for their taxes. Okay. You said I have a friend who's an attorney. Okay, yeah, they probably most likely, if they're in real estate, they know about the law of adverse possession. Shout out to my lawyers out there. Um, I follow a chick. I sub to a chick. She's a lawyer. She's an entertainment lawyer. Very very nice looking chick, man. Her channel is called. You see what her channel is called? Let me see here. Wine and Chill. Okay, her channel was Wine and Chill. Very, very, very beautiful young lady. She talks about entertainment law. Um, I don't know if she knows anything about real estate law. Because see, here's the thing: some lawyers they just deal with criminal law. They don't really, they really don't deal with no real estate law because that's all they do is they deal with criminal law. Then you got some guys, man. I used to do work for IT work for this guy. He was a patent attorney, so all he did was patents. What he charged for a patent to start a patent application was 50 grand. Now, if you already held a patent and somebody was using it and you wanted to sue the company or whatever, he charged $2 million for a lawsuit, for any lawsuit to counter someone using your patent claim. So, he deal with patents. That's all he pretty much dealt with. He ain't, you got some lawyers that they just stay in their particular lane. It might be family law, it might be real estate law, tax law, patent law. You got different types of specialties where lawyers basically deal with. So, business law. Okay, yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, business law, man, is man. You can go to school for just business law, man, because business law is like one within themselves. I mean, every corporation, they have a law department. So, like for example, I used to work for Abbott Labs. No, actually, it was Baxter. It was Baxter Pharmaceuticals. Man, they had their own wing. They had an entire wing full of nothing but lawyers. You know, paid lawyers, man, and all of them made over $100,000 a year. And one thing about why because lawyers can make more than that. But one thing about corporate law, being a corporate lawyer, it's an easy job because all they really have to do is kind of really just kind of push paperwork and occasionally and have a lot of meetings and occasionally they'll have a case that they have to pursue, but it rarely would even have any cases. But most of their job consists of being out of the office because they don't really have that much to do. As long as there's no active court case or anything involved, a lot of it is just paperwork, meetings, and a lot of times they can work from home and do a lot of tasks. They really have a low stress lifestyle versus an actual practice lawyer or a lawyer that works for a law firm, because the caseload and workload for them guys, and then you got some lawyers that do their own. They work for a firm, and then they also do public defender work. Them guys, man, the workload they have, man, drive them to want to do drugs and drink, man, because it's so much work that they have to do. Average corporate lawyer, I mean, he could be in a golf course a lot because he don't really have to do that much. He or she doesn't really have to do that much. They don't get paid as much, but the job is very low stressful compared to other lawyer jobs or whatever, lawyer positions. So yeah. But yeah, man, I mean, definitely in the terms of this Kaizen, basically Japanese philosophy of continuous improvement, that's a way where you can become a millionaire eventually. In the list of the most millionaires and billionaires in the world, so number one is London. Okay, London, the UK, it has the most billionaires, right? So let me go back to this list because it was on my page. Let me go back to my page and read this list. Probably put this on my blog because very good information. Because here's the thing, you want to also know where the money is. Okay, you always if you are very finance focused, you want to know where the money is. You want to always be on the paper chase. And part of being on that paper chase, you want to know where the money actually is and who got the money. Okay, you want to know who got that, because when I realized white people have $22 trillion collectively, over $22 trillion in wealth, that changed my mind. That changed my whole psyche, a way of thinking of things, because basically I'm like, it's not that I became more of a yes man when I found that out. It was basically like I understood why they do the things they do, why they even say the things they say, take the risks. A lot of what that $22 trillion of what I found out, basically, man, that explains a lot. You follow the money, and it explains quite a bit. So number one is the UK, London. Number two is New York. So guess what number three is on that list as far as the cities of the most with the most millionaires? and you'll understand basically why Kaizen is very important, because that is pretty much one of the reasons why I mean, I pretty much gave you most of it. Japan is third on that list, is the most um, millionaires around the globe and billionaires. So that Kaizen philosophy of continuous self improvement, you get Toyota or Toyota, how they say it, Toyota. That's why Toyota is the number one car manufacturer in the entire world, because of Kaizen, the continuous improvement. Okay, so in the 80s, when these cars came out, Toyota, Honda, they literally changed the car industry, upended the American car industry, because the American car manufacturers was making a hot bag of metal garbage. Okay, my mom used to get nothing but Fords and stuff like that, and as soon as the third year after she got the car payment, she started having car issues. You know, so it's like where you have these Toyotas and these Hondas coming in, they making cars that, because see, the American car manufacturers, they were concerned with the life cycle of their cars. What they wanted to do was they wanted to build cars with what is called built-in obsolescence, meaning they wanted the cars to only last a certain amount of time so the consumer can go buy a new car. That the car they bought 4 or 5 years ago, it breaks down, and then they go have to get a new car. Whereas Toyota, with their Kaizen theory, their Japanese Kaizen philosophy, they're building cars based off of that Kaizen principle of self-improvement, continuous self-improvement. So basically what happens is now they have cars that they have R&D'd to basically to oblivion. The cars have so much research and development, so much innovation, that they are the best cars in the world. Toyota and Lexus is owned by Toyota, are the top best cars in the world. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Mercedes Benzes. I love a lot of German cars, Audis, even BMWs, Range Rovers, Land Rovers, Jaguars, so on and so forth. But bar none, Toyota, Lexus, some of the best cars on the world. Like they're rated in car magazines and all of the car, review companies. They're the best cars. Okay, and it's primarily because of that Kaizen philosophy. That continuous self improvement. So from that's what philosophy I follow. You know, um, basically with continuous self improvement. Like today, I upgraded. I added something to my website, one of my websites, and I added a chat box. So it's just basically continuous self improvement, man. The whatever you did the other day, be grateful about it, and then move forward. Basically just continuous self improvement. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I mean, well, here's the thing, Soul Shader. So this is what I said. Why they upended the car industry? What they did was, in order for the American cars, GM, Ford, Well, Dodge is not even American anymore because it got bought out by the Europeans, ideally the Italians. Um, they made them step their game up. Okay, so what happened was that these Japanese and even now the Koreans with Hyundai and Kia and what's the other one that's a Korean? I think it's the main three is Hyundai, Kia. Let's just say Hyundai and Kia. I don't know if I'm missing one, but I know mainly Hyundai and Kia. So with these Asian cars, primarily the Japanese, they made the American car manufacturers have to step their game up. They had to go back and put a lot of money in R&D. Ultimately, GM went bankrupt, Dodge went bankrupt, and actually had to sell um, their their car manufacturing to the highest bidder, which was at the time Fiat, which is an Italian company. Okay, so literally all of this just recently happened. I mean, people shit on Obama. Okay, I understand it. I understand. I mean, this country is basically plutocratic. It's an oligarchy. Okay, so basically what that means is run by the rich, but that's how it is all over the world. The rich, the elite, have a very strong influence. Okay, this country is no different. Now, with that being said, what Obama did, where a lot of people don't give him credit, he literally damn near you could probably his background is in law, but the people around him, the advisors that he had, I mean, it basically was an economic playbook for socialism, for responsible socialism, whereas because capitalism is a form of socialism, it has components of socialism in it. But what he did was basically Obama said, all right, y'all want this money from the government to help you out. Well, GM, we gonna save you, but we need part of that company. Until you pay us back, we gonna be part owners. The United States government is gonna own part of GM. So they gave Obama administration gave GM billions of dollars to bail out GM, but they got ownership of GM. It is like literally became a nationalist country, like kind of like the Chinese do it. Chinese government actually owns certain companies. So GM at one time was owned by the United States government, parts of it, because they went into bankruptcy. They had to get bailed out in order to save the company. So, GM eventually recovered, paid the government off to get off of them, to pay Yeah, so yeah, basically they brokered a deal with the Italians for Dodge to buy to the Italians to buy Dodge, and then they became Fiat Chrysler. And if you notice, their cars kind of got beefed up because Italians are known for the Ferrari and the Lamborghini. Italians like fast; they like fast cars, you know. So I think that's why primarily the you got all of these like muscle cars that they're basically just bringing out again, and they like suited and booted because they like, they got the Hellcat, you know. niggas go to niggas go to sleep dreaming of bitches and Hellcats. But I say all of that to say, Soul Shader, that basically what these American companies did and ultimately ended up failing with is trying to compete with these Asian car companies and also foreign car companies such as the European automatic manufacturers. With the Range Rover, Jaguar. Well, Jaguar now is owned by the Indians, and also Range Rover with Tata, and you have the Audi group, and then that group that owns, because it's a European group that owns damn near all exotic cars from Porsche all the way down to Volkswagen, Bugatti. It's like an entire group, like a European auto group that owns all of these luxury car, exotic car companies. Man, if you research who owns Volkswagen, you'll find a who's who of all of these cars, and all of these cars outcompete American cars. Okay, so um, a lot of these car companies, these foreign car companies, forced the American car company to basically compete and make better cars, basically. But yeah, back in the 80s and 90s, they built these cars with built-in obsolescence to make them only last a certain period of time and clunk out on you so you can buy a brand new car. But a lot of companies actually try to do that, build their technology, their products with built-in obsolescence, so you can keep buying new products. But you said something here. I got myself a Chinese smartphone, and I could see myself using it for a long time. It looks like a way better phone than we have in America because its battery can last for a week or tough. For 1 week or tough. Wow. Damn, a week? Wow. That's crazy. But yeah, I basically have the same sentiment. So I bought I had an iPhone 6 that I bought for the cheap about a year ago, and something happened. Well, yeah, I was trying to repair the battery, replace the battery. So what happened? I bought the wrong battery off eBay. So when I was changing the battery, I had to go buy another phone because my phone went out. So what I bought was a CoolPad Legacy, and it's a Chinese phone. So I was first about to buy a real cheap phone, but some told me, it was like, nah, man, buy the best phone that you probably can get. Like, not the best, but something with a little bit more money on it. So I bought the CoolPad Legacy. It was about $90. So when I got the phone and I started using it, I'm like, ain't no way for me to even worry about my iPhone 6. This phone got way more features than my iPhone 6. And then the battery life is impeccable. And I mean, the features alone is way better than the iPhone 6. Even my ex-wife, she noticed the phone was better than her iPhone 7. And I'm like, all right, ain't no way for me to really like go back to this iPhone 6. So I ended up selling that for parts on eBay. I had that phone ever since, the CoolPad Legacy. But they ain't doing nothing but they using the same Apple phone back in China that's built in China. They building the phones in China. So I mean, you might as well get it directly from the source, in my opinion. You know. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, yeah. I mean, see, here's the thing. So they make these phones, even my Cool Pad Legacy, with the screen with it so slim that I got a case on mine now. But let's say I didn't have no case. This thing's so slim, it just slides right out your finger. And that's kind of even worse than built-in obsolescence. That's like almost like they want to make it so you could just drop the phone so you could get another one. It's a beautiful marketing ploy, if you ask me. But yeah, it that's what they do. But you know, the Japanese, they basically out competed the American car industry basically with their own Kaizen principle, just self improvement on their own product, which was their Toyota automobiles and ultimately Lexus, and slowly but surely just blew the American car manufacturers that did not have nowhere near that type of principle out the water. XS Excel said, let's see, said something about Lexus. You want a Lexus so bad. Man, you and me both, man. Lexus is now, I mean, they ain't nothing but Toyotas. See, you gotta be careful with these car companies that see a lot of what. So, for example, like I've had three different Toyota Camrys, and all of the Toyota Camrys that I've had, they use the same parts for the Lexus. Okay, so for example, the Toyota Camry and a Lexus ES300 is really the same engine. So you got to be careful for cars because what they do is, okay, here's the thing. You, you might not, some of you might not know this. So a Honda and an Acura is the same car company. I'll repeat that again. The Acura and the Honda is the same car company. Acura ain't nothing but a Honda with an Acura logo on it, different designs, just different, body designs and stuff like that. So it's kind of like it's the same car, but they just slap a logo on it and change the way the body design looks and the way the interior design looks. But it ain't nothing but a Honda. Okay, so that's kind of how Lexus is, how they do it with Lexus. They take the Toyota parts because they're interchangeable. So a lot of Toyota cars, they they have the same parts that's in Lexus. So for example, a Toyota Highlander, um, or let's say a Toyota Land Rover is is the same thing as a Lexus Land Rover or whatever it's called. It's very similar. It's just different parts. Like for example, I was in Japan, right, in 2001 when I was in the Navy. They had Lexus's body styles that was in America, but they had a Toyota. It had the Toyota emblem over there. Same body style for the Lexus over here, like the Lexus, ES300 and all of that. It was same body style over in China. I mean, Japan was they had a Toyota on the car. So it just, you got to be careful with that branding and marketing because that's really what it is. It's like they branding the same car, but it just look different. Now, if you got money and it don't really matter to you which a lot of people, it just don't matter to them. They like Lexuses. That's it. They like it. They, end the story. But like a lot of them are dressed up Lexuses, or dressed up Toyotas, because a Honda, an Acura, that same thing. The parts are interchangeable. Because see, here's the thing. I'm a little like a novice mechanic. I actually work on some of my cars. I changed my oil on my Mercedes about a month ago, because I just, I didn't feel like going any place to do it. So I just, I changed my oil, I changed my air filter, But the thing is, it's like some of the parts from when you go buy parts and even go to the junkyard, there you start to find out the parts are interchangeable. So you get kind of the game of what's going on. Basically, they're using the same parts. It's the same car, but it's two different versions. That's why I'm investing in these Chinese tech companies, because I see the quality. I even have a Mark smartwatch that has a big screen and it lasts for a week as well. I can watch YouTube videos on it. Oh, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, here's the thing. This is why China has so much money, and you want to follow China too, because China has a lot of money. They have like hundreds of trillions of dollars of capital, of wealth. You want to follow that, because you got to think for yourself. They got a lot of people. They got a lot of people in China, way more than America. But what is special about China is, with that 600 trillion plus dollars that they have as far as wealth, it's a very small landmass compared to America. America's landmass is way bigger than China, but China has way more people. But they have more billionaires than the United States has. China has way more billionaires because they got a lot of people, and they got way more way more millionaires. They got like I don't know how many millionaires there are in America, but China has a caboodle load of more millionaires than the United States has. So it's a lot of people with a lot of money, and how they make their money, a lot of it is from production, of course, manufacturing. So how you can make a lot of money is, because see, here's the thing. I'm not only a trader, I'm a businessman. So, or at least I have the capacity to be a businessman. And I'm also an investor as well, because you can trade stocks, and that's fine. But you can also actually trade goods. You can actually go outside of just investing in stocks and actually invest in hard goods. So, for example, like for my computer company that I have, I can actually get some contacts in China to build me a custom keyboard and mouse and put my Big Cat computer logo on my computer and mouse, and send me about 1,000 of them. Okay, I can get that broker directly from China and have them manufacture and put branding, my logo on the keyboards and mouse. See, that's the power of China with their manufacturing arm. And what a lot of companies in America do, they get the Chinese to build products so they can resell back over to the United States. And they get them shipped overseas through shipping channels, and get containers to come from China all the way to the United States, and then they make a lot of money. Now, here's another thing that a lot of people don't know. If you live in New York and in LA, you're near shipping ports. And a lot of people are real quiet that they live in LA and New York because they making so much money because they can go right to them ports and get products for cheap. They can get wholesale products for dirt cheap, whereas I'm in the Midwest, ain't no shipping ports other than the St. Lawrence Seaway. Ain't no, I'm in the middle of stuff. Whereas New York and LA, they getting stuff straight off of the ships. In LA, they getting goods right directly from China. That's why when you go on eBay and you buy stuff, a lot of it is like literally right there. Like you can get Chinese goods straight from LA, and it's coming from LA because it's coming right off the ports from China, to LA, to those LA ports, but let's see what else. Right, because the rich people here is holding the people out of the money. What do you mean by that, Soul Shader? I think I know what you mean, but what do you mean by that? Like the 1% rich people don't want us to have money. Yeah. Certain oligarchs and whatnot, certain elites. Here's the thing. Right? Okay. So, yeah. United States is Let me look up the inequality index. I talked about this on one of my live streams on basically either Wealth Wednesdays or Finance Fridays. I talked about this, the inequality index. But the U.S. is way low on the inequality index. It's like really, really, really low. Let me see here. It's called the Gini coefficient. Okay, so I'm gonna put the link in the chat here, but it's very unequal. It's very unequal, and you have a lot of laws to perpetuate that, sort of to even enhance it. And then here's another thing. This is what I was gonna say before I talked about the inequality index. My sisters and even my mother, they used to, and even other people, they used to love talking about Section 8 vouchers. Section 8. But here's the thing that what they didn't, when I got older, I started to understand about Section 8. In all of that, in all forms of welfare, but primarily Section 8. People don't care about Section 8, like the wealthy don't care about Section 8. You know why? They want you to get that. Here's the section. Let's talk about Section 8, and also let's just say supplemental Social Security, because basically, i.e., people that have a problem working or have some form of disability, or they even just might not even have that much of a disability, but they like to keep on their supplemental Social Security income. And you think like, because here's the thing about the BGS talk about UBI. There already are forms of UBI already in existence. It is called supplemental Social Security income. You know, 25 million people in the United States get SSI. Okay, so you do the math on, okay, with 300 million people and 25 million people getting supplemental Social Security income. It's like 1/6 or something like that, 1/5 of the population already getting some form of SSI. Now, some people that get SSI and even Section 8. Their Section 8 is subsidized housing, in case somebody don't even really know what that is. But some people, they rent, they only have to pay like maybe $50. Some people might have to pay as high as $500 or more, or $200 or $300 a month for a rent for a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, or whatever the case may be. Let the voucher pay for. Here's why the wealthy don't really give a fuck about that type of stuff. Because those vouchers, that money that they give for Social Security or pay for, through the tax system, what it does is it keeps people in certain boxes. It keeps you there where you don't have to go where they are here. So as long as you stay over there, they don't care, other than little talking points or little jabs or whatever, about, government handouts or welfare or anything like that. They really, if it push come to shove, they would rather pay that money, even though they don't really like to basically get taxed to where government pays a lot of money towards welfare programs and stuff like that, or welfare funding. But when it comes down to their children and the children of the quote unquote poor, they would rather pay for Section 8 housing or even more Section 8 housing, because these people stay over there. A lot of people with Section 8, they get comfortable with the Section 8 vouchers. They get comfortable with SSI payments. They don't strive to better themselves. So they end up inherently getting comfortable in their box, and they don't compete to ideally get to the point where they are moving in an upper class or upper middle class environment to stay there. Now, in certain cases where there are vouchers that they rent out to people in those areas, ideally, which is hilarious. It's getting close to where they are in those neighborhoods. You'll be surprised that who is there with Section 8 vouchers in upper class neighborhoods and upper middle class, but primarily most of the through taxes, through high real estate property prices, they primarily are in their own bubble. And then people that are getting Section 8 vouchers and ultimately can't afford to live in certain areas and also even get SSI, they stay in their box. And they will pay for a lifetime for these people to get that money, get those subsidies, so they can stay in their box. Their children don't have to mix in or deal with, share the same spaces with their children, and then they don't even have to share the same space with those individuals that are getting SSI and basically Section 8 housing vouchers. So some of the people that get these vouchers and SSI benefits, a lot of them don't even think to be like, well, why am I getting this, or what is the overlay for the underplay to this, But I thought about that, and part of that is that level of inequality that's in the United States. They would rather comfortably pay those higher taxes, or pay the tax money, have no problem with the tax money going toward those benefits or whatever, or subsidies, because they ultimately would rather have that than those same said people in their areas where they live with their children. They'll pay for them to stay where they are, you know. Yeah, and they don't have to. They don't have any They don't have their children won't have to compete with the poor children. They don't have to. Definitely, they have no competition as well because you you can keep that same cushy corporate job and everything like that. You don't have to worry about someone taking your job or competing or going to school to get your job because they're getting a $500 SSI check every month, and then they're also getting an Social Security voucher, and their rent, they don't have to even pay rent, or their rent is only $100 a month. They ultimately are non-competitive at that point. So yeah, that that my point, my sentiments exactly. It's like if somebody wants to create a company that rivals Facebook, like how IG did. So Facebook bought IG, but it was the fear of IG passing them for why they brought them out for less competition. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's exactly like that, but even more simply. Yeah, just it's even cheaper. It's like um, I give you, I'll give you, you know, spare change, and then you go stay where you are, and I just stay over here, and I don't have any problems of any competition of my children getting any type of interference from your poor children. And I don't have to compete with you at all. I don't have to worry about you at all, other than, maybe you marching into my neighborhood because you don't like certain things, because something happened somewhere, that went bad. Things went south really, really bad in your neck of the woods. So yeah, I mean, so it happens, but in business terms, that's exactly what happened with IG. So um, you wanna eat your rivals. Definitely. You wanna buy out your rivals, most definitely. Um, you know, and IG, yeah, Instagram is a good move for Facebook. I mean, Facebook is a monster, man. Shoot, I mean, damn, man. You know, I took Mark Zuckerberg like I did Tom, man. I think Mark was my friend on Facebook when I started, and then I deleted him, and then I also deleted Tom from MySpace way back. Probably too young to know about MySpace, but yeah, I mean, I deleted Tom, and it was like both of those were bad moves. But yeah, Facebook, I remember it was like $38 a share, and look at it now. It's just this huge monolith of a monster that just it ain't going to sleep. It ain't going down to sit down nowhere. It's gonna keep eating. It's gonna keep growing, and it's gonna keep getting bigger. uh oh yeah. You know what? I don't have Instagram, but I don't know. I don't know what is it to Instagram. What is so special about Instagram versus Facebook, other than the let's just say the bitches, the broads. Like that's the only thing I could think of with Instagram is the IG models or the IG thoughts. I mean, I really can't think of. I mean, here's another thing I do like about IG. Um, it seems to me they have a very good video interface, like kind of like okay, like Zoom or StreamYard, where it's like you can have somebody hop on your live and actually engage them. Like I do like that about Instagram. That's pretty dope. I don't think Facebook has that feature. as far as in my opinion, or as far as I know of, I don't think Facebook has that same feature that Instagram has, where somebody can hop on your live and talk some shit to you or whatever, or y'all can just chop it up or whatever. I don't know if Facebook is operates like that. Yeah, he said Facebook is boring. You know what? If I told you everything that happened to me on Facebook or how powerful Facebook is, man, you'd be like, man, wow. I mean, Facebook, one thing I like Facebook about Facebook is it has it has an underworld and an overworld. The underworld of Facebook, yeah, it's stripped out. It's stripped out. The overworld is like, hey, yeah, hey, how you doing? Hey, aunt. Hey, cousin. And then you dip down to the underworld of Facebook, and it's like, whoo, wow, I like it down here. It's like the Matrix. It's like Zion. And that's why I like Facebook. That's why I should have about 100,000 shares of Facebook, 10,000 shares of Facebook, and I know I should. Um, it's the move. It's no other. I mean, it literally is the move, because Facebook. I spent so much time on Facebook. It's so much history with me with Facebook. It's so much going on with Facebook that Facebook, I know I missed out on it. I've actually bought a couple shares, but I just didn't hold it. But I think Facebook has the potential. Like I said, Facebook is one of those monsters that it's just gotten bigger and it's still eating and it's going to get big. And Monster, I will say, is only about probably maybe 12. It ain't even a grown, full-blooded, full-grown monster yet. It's eating hot pockets, playing video games and stuff now. But Facebook ain't even grown yet. Wait till it gets like in its 20s and it's eating like full grown like lobsters and steaks and knocking down all kind of stuff and getting real big. You know, wait till it gets to that point where it's like $2,000 a share, $500 a share. It has the capacity to do that easily. And it's like, man, I mean, with IG, I don't know if it has that particular depth to it. I just signed up for Twitter. Twitter is kind of boring to me as far as I can see. I maybe I might sign up for IG to just get a look see and see what it does, because one thing about Facebook is I do see the option where it literally says all you have to do is just log in to IG and bro, you already got an IG. I just never logged in. So one day I'm gonna get enough. Maybe because of you, Soul Shader, I'll hit the login button and actually join IG. Yeah, the groups, man. If I told you everything I done with these groups, man, shoot, man, I'll be embarrassed and I have too many questions to answer, and y'all look at me totally different. But my friends know they know about my Facebook underworld, my Facebook underworld activities. I mean, shoot, I don't even know why I don't even own shares of Facebook, because I feel like I'm invested in like Facebook. IG is for kids, man. Them Facebook groups, man. They got Facebook groups that is just like, man, you can have groups for like, that's the best way for like marketing. Like I can't run Facebook ads. I'm in like Facebook ad jail. And I've tried a lot of things, but I cannot run any Facebook ads. So the groups kind of help me a little bit with actually being able to market. But I mean, those groups, man, you can join a group for anything. You could start a group. I've never started a group, but them groups, man, them groups are stripped out. Even Kevin Samuels has a Facebook group. And from what he said and from what I heard, his Facebook group is popping. He got a list, he got a waiting list for his Facebook group alone. And them people are meeting and they doing all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Cause he got all of these people that watch his show that actually, trying to be on the same stuff, his philosophies and stuff. And just imagine all of them people in one place, them same like high value men with women that's trying to be with high value dudes. I mean, pretty interesting. Oh, they been got in the gaming. Facebook owns Oculus. They've owned Oculus for a long time. They just haven't really got into it because VR gaming hasn't really took off yet. It really hasn't. It didn't catch on like they thought it was. Yeah, people definitely are. They definitely are. Man, I should try. I should start me. I should start me a group. You got. I'll start me. Man, I shoot. I'll start me a group, man. Basically, I'll start a genius group. So, in order to get in the group, though, you got to pass a test. You got to actually pass a test, and then it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing that I'm just gonna give you that you can just Google the answers. In order to get in the group, you have to you have to get on live with me, and I have to ask you questions, and you only have like 4 seconds to answer them. Actually, yeah, 4 seconds, because 4 seconds is enough time for you to answer a question, and then it ain't enough time for you to actually Google the answer. And you have to be on camera because I have to see you because you can't be looking down or anything like that. And literally, I'll have nothing but smart people in my group if I do it this way. And I have men and women that just nothing but smart people, and you know what I'm saying. That's the way I would do it. Oh man, I need to buy Sony stock for VR. VR. Um, that's quite interesting because the PS5 is it out now? The PS5 because I'm thinking maybe possibly PS5 could take the VR into a higher realm. Maybe possibly. I don't know. I like controllers, but I don't know. I'm old school. Yeah, I'm basically, man, I'm spending a lot of money, man, on real estate right now. Most of my money is going towards real estate. And then, I mean, basically cost of living, basically rent and real estate. Because I look at what I'm spending now, I'm staying in a hotel room. I'm spending, I look at it as like rent. I'm paying rent. But my friend, he wants to get an apartment so bad because he lives with his father and his father is driving him crazy. But it's like, man, I mean, dude, Okay, so now you want to move out, but now you ain't got no money because your ass been hanging out, fucking bitches, drinking damn near every night. When you leave work, you ain't save no money, and then I can't rely on you to get money to bulldoze to basically steamroll these projects for this house that we have on. But now you wanna, you know what I'm saying? You wanna, change your situation, but you ain't got the money to do it. I done already moved. I ain't gotta worry about my nieces, little toxic ass music they listening to, the damn dirty ass house, all the smells and all that crazy crap that I had to deal with. I mean, all that like toxic energy. I don't gotta worry about that shit no more. I mean, I gotta pay a lot of money to not have to worry about that, but I ain't gotta worry about that shit. But now he like looking sideways because, he ain't got no money, motherfucking get out of his situation now. And I'm like, well, I could downgrade my current living situation in this hotel because I'm paying a lot of money, but you ain't even got half. And it's like I can't motherfucking pay more than that. I can't pay your half, nigga. I gotta get if you come with half, then I come with half. Okay, cool, but I can't. He want me to pay his half too, and it's like, nigga, please, hell no, I ain't got it like that. If you save your money, stop fucking with them bitches like that. Like you, goddamn it, Bar Louie. Um, you know, you have some money, you can go get you another place to live until this house get fixed up and shit. Well, how about you give me that same money and then we go get this project rolling on this house and it'll be done quicker. But I don't know, that's my little rant or whatever. Which would you say you with VR you should use your hand, no controller. What you mean? You light a candle every night? LOL. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I mean, but yeah, I mean, my that's my friend, man. I've been knowing him for a long time. He like going to bars and shit every night and drinking. That shit costs money. That's costs a lot of money to be able to go to a bar and drink and shit every night. Or every other night. That shit costs money, man. And he don't have none. Like he done spent all of that money, and now he uh he don't um he don't got no money to move because his father driving him crazy. He stayed with his daddy. His daddy driving him up the wall. Oh, um, oh yeah. I've done that before. I've done that, like light candles and meditate. Yeah, definitely. Um, I like to light incense, and I don't necessarily light a candle. I have a lamp that is an oil burner in it, and my one of my buddies, man, that I known for a long time, that I known just as long as I know my friend now. I got it from him. He sell oil burners, and it got a lamp in it, and I use that primarily because it's got a real dim light. But yeah, he definitely is. I mean, that's why I say, man. I mean, I try to talk to him. I'm like, I'm trying to broaden his horizons. I'm trying to get him to be on a certain level, but he want to stay on that ratchet shit. Now he got a girlfriend that is more higher class than that ratchet shit, but then now he kind of feel. I know he gotta be like, damn. Well, what am I doing? But it's kind of like Day late and a dollar short because he can't do nothing but wait now because he ain't got no money to move. Oh, okay. Yeah. Shout out to LAR, man. He's dope dude, man. Old dude, man. Around the YouTube space. Um, but yeah, man, you know, that's the whole thing though. Self-improvement. How can you is going to the bar after work self-improvement? I doubt it. I don't think that's self-improvement, man. I mean, the thing about it is sometimes you spend so much money that you don't even have any money to put towards self-improvement. Now he gotta wait because he can't leave. He don't have no money to go get another place to live. He wanna go right now. He wanna go get an apartment immediately because he getting into it with his daddy, but he ain't got no money. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, at one particular time, I couldn't do nothing. I was living with my sister and I couldn't leave because I ain't had no money, you know. Um, I mean, yeah, and then at one time, man, I could have been left, but I was being cheap because I didn't want to spend no money to go on my own, but I could, but I wish in hindsight I did, but I think it worked out the best way it worked out because I ended up finding this house that I'm working on now because I hate rent. One thing about me is I hate rent. One of the reasons why I buy properties, even if they like are really, really in bad neighborhoods or they need to be fixed up, is because I hate rent. I hate rent with a passion. I live in a hood in a house that need to be fixed up and fix it up, then pay rent in a very good neighborhood in a nice apartment. Because in my mind, that rent don't stop. But when I get a house and I fix it up and I pay for it and it's mine, I don't have to worry about nothing but the taxes, paying the utility bills and whatever I want in the house. I mean, that's just me though. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but that's just how I am. Well, if you ain't like we don't live in Chicago. We ain't in Chicago. Like you can't just sell your car when you live in the suburbs. You can't just sell your car because you don't have the ability to transport yourself. Like transportation outside of Chicago is key. Like in Chicago, you can get away with not having no car because you can get on the train, you can get on the bus and go everywhere you need to go. But in the suburbs, that's kind of difficult. Chicago, the transit system runs 24/7. In the suburbs, it cuts off at about 10, 11 o'clock. So, it's like literally you're on punishment after 10 o'clock. You have to call Uber or something or Lyft to get a ride somewhere. But he just needs to save his goddamn money. That's what he needs to do. That's all he needs to do. Stop faking like you got it like that when you don't. You don't got it like that till you got it like that. And when you got it like that, you probably ain't gonna even want to do that. I don't know. When I used to go to the casino a lot when I didn't have a lot of money, and then now that I have a little money, I don't even want to go to the casino. I don't even give a shit about the casino. Cause it's like, all right, what am I going to the casino for? I'm trying to get like $1,000 or something like that, $500. I got $500 in my brokerage account, and I don't even trade. That's not nothing to me. It's like it's nothing. It's no big deal. Like, I mean, $1,000. You know, I'm trying to come up. I'm going to casino for 1,000. Like that's normally what my mindset was when I was like really, really broke. When I was like poor, like $0 to $20,000. Like no, like I didn't have no job, like whatever. Like really, really, like I wasn't broke. I was poor. Like I would be thinking, I go to casino. I'm trying to get 100, 500. If I can get 1,000, and that was my mindset. Well, you know, it's no big deal. Like that ain't no big deal to me now. So I don't even go to the casino. Like I don't even think casino. Like I be so busy working. I be so tired when I get off work. On the weekends, I'll be trying to catch up on sleep and get stuff done. I ain't even got time to go to no casino. And I know enough not to go to the casino tired. Cause you ain't doing nothing but just giving them free money. Shoot, man, I could hands down say that I probably would say I had a gambling addiction. I used to go to the casino a lot, man. I used to go to the casino like every day, man. I definitely would say I had a gambling addiction. I just never, I just dealt with it the best way I could. And like I said, when I started making money, when I started working, making decent money, I remember walking in the casino. I had about $3,000 in my bank account, and I'm like, "What the fuck am I here for?" This shit comical for me. I just walked out. I'm like, man, fuck this shit. What the hell am I here for? I already got money. The whole point for me to go to the casino wasn't to have a good time, enjoy myself. When I went to the casino, I was trying to come up. So it's like, if I already got money, the hell am I here for? It just what? It just, it's like even like that with women. It's like, why I gotta deal with the worst type of woman to just get any type of woman when I got it like that? A lot of times when you don't have it like that, you just take any old woman or whatever the case may be. But if I got women already, if I got money and I got my stuff together already, what I got to deal with the worst type of woman just to get any woman for? I ain't got to deal with that. You know, you do, when you do better, you expect better. That's how that works usually. That's why a lot of chicks, they don't deal with established men or even somewhat established men, because a man that's established or somewhat established, they not even gonna tolerate their bullshit. They don't need their bullshit. They don't need to be a homosexual because they got not only one house, but they got two houses. And they don't need uh anything from them but friendship and sexual release. And it's like they can get that anywhere just about. So it's like they not about to put up with your attitude and bullshit. So it's like they'd rather deal with a poor dude that knows that they need them. A dude that will beg to stay with them to sleep on their couch, than a dude that somewhat established or well established, because they might even be in a situation where they damn near they know that they have to adhere to this guy. They can't even compete with this guy. With what this guy is asking for. This guy only accepts women that are basically everything he says goes. And a lot of women don't even want to. Even a broke chick that make $30,000 a year, she don't even want to deal with that type of stuff, because in her mindset, that's beneath her. But she'll go to work for that little clerk job she got to make. She make $30,000 a year, and she best believe she do everything her boss tell her to do. And if she don't, she know where she's going at the end of the week. She getting her box together and you know what I'm saying, walking to her car to go to her apartment and cry and file unemployment. So yeah, I mean, um, you know, that's how that goes, man, usually. You don't like smelly nurses. I'm poor. Why you say you poor? I mean, what do you have a job? You poor is $0 to $20,000, man. You don't make more than, I mean, what is shit? What is $20,000? Let me see it. You don't make at least $1,600. You don't make more than $1,600 a month, which is pretty much. Let's see. You don't make like at least $800 every 2 weeks or more. Oh, okay. Well, it's no big deal, man. I mean, I was poor last year. No, not last year, but I was poor in 2018. Shit. I mean, I've been poor a whole bunch of times. You know, I've been more consistent in the last year or so than I've ever been in my life. You know, I've been very consistent, and primarily, you know what changed my life, and I've said it a whole bunch of times. My millionaire savings plan. You know, my millionaire savings plan, it changed my life. You make $1,200 a month, or 16, or you make 1,200 a month right now. SS, or is that $1,200 a week, or every 2 weeks? If you don't mind me asking. Oh, a month, $1,200 a month. Yeah, you poor as fuck, man. You poor as hell, man. Here's the deal, though, man. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out, SS. I'm gonna help you out, man. It's what you do. So you look at. All right. So uh, let me do the math on this. Let me hold on. It's not so much math, but um. So 9 to 5 is 8 hours, and then, well, let's just say 8 to 4. 8 to 4 is 8 hours, and then give yourself a gap 5 to, let's just say, yeah, 5 to 12. 5 to 12. So 5 to 12 is about 7 hours. Okay, 7 plus 8 is 15 hours. So look at your days as 15-hour days. Okay, 15-hour days. Now, if you do this, you're going to come back and holler at me in about a year. Going to drop a nice super chat if I'm still even doing YouTube. But what you're going to look at is 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then 5 p.m. to 12 p.m. if you can work, if you can stay up during this time and actually work a day job and then do something on the side. Do you drive or do you have a car? If you got a car, you should be doing some type of gig work. Uber Eats. Take your ego and throw it in the trash can, or what you think people think of you and all of that bullshit. Throw it in the garbage can because it ain't gonna make you no money. Them same motherfuckers that basically trying to, what he doing or talking about you, or you think will be talking about you, you ain't even gonna be living around them in about 2 or 3 years because you're gonna be living in the best neighborhood of your area. Okay, so if you ain't even got that, okay, that's fine. What you could do is uh let me see, no car. Let me see, what can you do? What would I do if I still didn't have no car and I wanted to make some extra money? Well, I know this. There's some tripped out ass shit right here. You might not make that much money, but it's a start. Because some money is better than nothing. Look up surveys. Okay. You can make like $10 a day, man, extra just doing surveys. Let me give you some surveys that I know about. Let me give you some. I'm so goddamn bougie now that I don't even use them because I used to do this shit, man. I was in your same position like almost 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Let me see what the name of this survey. I think it's called Q Me. Yeah, Q Me. Q Me. Yeah. All right. This shit'll make you can make $10 a day extra just doing this shit here. Doing Q Me. Um, it might not seem that much. QMe.com. This shit, man, you can make like $10, $15 a freaking day just answering surveys. Okay, you can take that money and you could try to. Here's another thing. Here's another thing you could do. Learn how to use eBay, man. If you near a post office, what you could do is this website here. You can buy stuff and basically you can sell stuff for cheap on eBay and then ship it out. As long as you near a post office where you can walk, you know what I'm saying. You can actually buy stuff for cheap and resell it. You can buy like stuff that's really really cheap and then resell it on eBay and make an extra 100, $200 a month just doing that. Yeah, you wanna get the eBay app. See, here's the thing about what people don't know about the eBay app. So this is all the stuff I did to help me. So I ain't doing nothing but telling you what I did 2 years ago. I 2 years ago I didn't have a car either. I was just getting out of. I was on house arrest. I was dealing with a case. I was fighting a case. That's why I was living with my sister. So the eBay app, it has a scan tool on it. So you can scan products that have a box or whatever, somewhat lightly used or even brand new products in a box, and you can scan it on eBay and it'll tell you how much it's selling for. As long as you can get it at a lower price, you can make money off of that. One thing I like about eBay, why I don't really talk about Amazon, is because eBay is more seller friendly to sell used stuff and even new stuff. Amazon has quite a few more hoops in order to sell stuff on Amazon. You can make money on Amazon too, but I made way more money. I just had more successes off of eBay than I had Amazon. And right now, Amazon is like, fuck you right now, because I'm having a hard time actually getting my seller account reestablished with them, because just a lot of, I don't know, something going on. But, you know, they don't need me. I mean, I signed up for Prime last month because I wanted to I wanted to buy something that was on Amazon, and then I wanted to try out their Prime, and then I wanted to watch I wanted to watch Amazon Prime, and then, you know, fucking Edward started talking about The Boys, and I wanted to watch that shit, and I ended up binge watching that and a couple of other shows. But yeah, I can't sell on Amazon right now. But eBay, you can actually use eBay to make some money. Now, here's another thing. Now, you can make money. It's a million. One thing you gotta understand is that I already understood. Oh, that's cool, man. That's what's up. You gotta be very competitive. You gotta think, what do people need? So here's some things you could do on foot that is amazing. That and one of these things I haven't done. So what you can do, bro, is you can get what is called. So I got a generator, right? So if you look on my video on my page, you hear that sound in that video, and you probably see it. I bought a generator for about $400 because my house, it doesn't have any electricity. The electricity guy, I think I'm gonna kick him off some money next week so he can start the electricity. Um, so the actual, what you can do is, and it's very similar to to a generator, but you do need a water source. What you can do, it costs about $300. You can get what is called a pressure washer. Okay, because this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a pressure washer, but I ain't gonna. I mean, I'm eventually probably gonna use it for that, but I'm getting it for my house. But what you could do with this pressure washer is you can go do a couple things with this and make bread. And then what you want to also get is you want to get a real good wet dry vac. So with the pressure washer, what you're gonna do is you're gonna advertise that you wash cars, and then you wanna advertise that you detail. Cause a good detailing cost, it can cost up to $100. Because what detailing does is it makes your car look like almost damn near brand new on the inside and the interior. So with this pressure washer, you can wash cars, and then you can buy detailing equipment, and then now you can offer mobile detailing and also car washing. And literally with an investment of about $400, you can make thousands of dollars a month possibly, or if not more, just doing detailing. You might not make it off the jump. It might only be like, might only get like a couple people. You might only make like a couple $100. But see, when you just made a couple $100, you just did what is called you did what is called ROI. You got most of your return off your investment because you made $300. The pressure washer is gonna cost you $300, and then I just say $100 is gonna be for the equipment. for the detailing. So what you gonna do is you're gonna offer these services. So for the cheap, you're gonna be like, I'll detail your car for $50, and then I'll throw in a wash for free, a wash and wax. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna have people that is gonna want to use your services, and it's gonna spread like word of mouth, and then you're gonna also get repeat customers. Now here's the other beautiful thing about this pressure washer, that the reason why I gotta buy it. I have a house that has some stains on the siding. That pressure washer with some bleach, that will get those stains off that house, off the siding. And now you got the same pressure washer. You can charge services for people's houses, to pressure washes people's houses, and you can get graffiti off, paint off of people's houses with that same pressure washer. So now you got um, the car business, and then you also got the house pressure washing business with the same pressure washer, and you could charge upwards to $100 a house to pressure wash the house, because people have siding. Even if they have brick, they might have somebody that put graffiti on the painted graffiti on the brick. That pressure washer will get that off. Okay. Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So, no, the pressure washer is water that, yeah, uses air, but basically it's got a couple things. It's a generator, and then the water. You do need a water source, a water hose. A water hose connects to the pressure washer, and it, yeah, uses pressure along with the water to to spit out the water at a high intense rate of pressure in order to wash things. Okay, when you do that, basically you're washing stuff, and it's given a lot of pressure, and it removes dirt and other substances off very, very quickly. You know, so that entry level was like $400. To get that started. Now another business is what I do, because this is something that I just kicked off. You can actually kind of do something on this too. You could actually start your own home cleaning business. If you know some women that know how to clean really good, you can offer home cleaning services, and you can use my website as a template to offer your services. Hell, you can even work with me in your area if you're able to get customers. What I could do is I could just, because one thing about a website is that I'm good with making websites. I can offer this service national, because basically I'm not gonna be there. I'm just gonna hire subcontractors that's in the area. So if you let's just say that, for example, um you able to clean and get women to help clean and get like contracts or whatever, I can give you a cut. Uh, for example, let's say you had somebody clean a room for $55. Now, as long as you don't throw my name in the garbage or in the toilet, or my business in the garbage or in the toilet, and do actually clean really well, I'm willing to give you like, half of that, like, at least maybe even probably more than that. I'll give you $30, and then I keep, $25. I mean, what I'm saying? Like, but forget that. I mean, you could just, basically offer cleaning services yourself. You can just, offer cleaning, because it literally doesn't cost that much to clean people's houses. I mean, you already, your grandma, your mama already got cleaning supplies. You just, offer services. Hey, I clean houses. You know how many people need help cleaning their house? That's one of the things that my friend was complaining about. He has to clean after his father, because his father is disabled right now because his toe is being is gonna be amputated because it's got dead particles in his toe. So it's like you can offer these services in your particular area, go door to door, make some flyers, and basically, man, make money. You don't have to even have a car. You probably just have to carry some cleaning equipment. I mean, it might look awkward, or just get an Uber. Fuck it. Just get an Uber, get your cleaning equipment, put it in the trunk of the Uber, and then go to people's houses. After you do it about 20 or 30 times, shit, you won't even need no Uber because you still got your job. You buy you a car, buy you a little hoopty, and then carry your equipment and just keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, it's a quite a few ways you could make some money. With eBay alone, as long as you're able to go to the post office, a lot of times you can, as long as the package is not too heavy, you can, the post office can pick up the packages, so you can ship them out, and you can make money off of eBay without really even having to be able to, you know, really have to go to the post office. I mean, you could basically get stuff like I'll show you better than I can tell you. So I go to the thrift store too, and I buy stuff. Okay, I haven't really been doing it lately because kind of a lot of things are going on. You know, I'm in the transition. I'm trying to get my house fixed up, but I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna show you is a pair of shoes that I got for $4. All I did was wash them, and then I like bought some cleanser and stuff, and I just kind of restored them by just washing them and doing a few other things. And I'm gonna show you what they sold for. Where's those shoes at? And then here's another thing too. When you can offer decluttering services, and a lot of times people throw away stuff because they don't want it no more, and you can resell it on eBay. So this is a pair of shoes that I paid $4 for at the Salvation Army thrift store, and it shows how much they sold for. I believe it did. Well, actually, it didn't show you. It didn't show you what. Actually, it did. Yeah. So that's what I sold them for, but I made a little money off the shipping too. Okay. The top one is what I sold it for. That's what I sold it for. Okay. So I mean, the flea market alone, you can make a killing on in eBay. Just the flea market, but what you want to do is you just want to be a buyer. Like you want to buy a whole bunch of stuff and put it on eBay and just go ham. But with eBay alone, man, it can improve your situation. Because I've done it, I've done it many times. This ain't the first time that I had to go back from the bottom and go up to the top, You know what I'm saying? Man, I appreciate it, man. I've actually been selling on eBay for a long time. So it's like, man, I mean, them shoes, I just put them in a washing machine, put some washing detergent, some spot remover on them, And then after they got out, I cleaned them some more, and bam. You know what I'm saying? I learned this shit from watching another dude on YouTube that he a millionaire. And what he do is he restores shoes. Now, I don't restore shoes like that. Like, he be taking them and painting them and all that kind of stuff, removing the soles and all that. I don't do all that, but I clean the hell out some shoes to restore them, because I wish I gotta keep the before and after. But let me just tell you, them shoes, when I got them, they was dirty as hell. That's why they was $4, because they was grimy. I cleaned the hell out of them shoes, and I sold them for a lot of money, man. I was happy as hell, man, when I sold them, because, you know, it just amazed me, man, how I can buy something for $4 and sell it for $75 plus shipping, man. That's just, man. I love this country sometimes. And one of those reasons is because of stuff like that, man. But the most money that you know how I really improved my life like a long time ago, is when I got into IT. When I got into IT, I changed my whole life, man. Because I had to do jobs like security, work at a grocery store, work at a warehouse, work anywhere I could. But when I got into IT, when I learned how to fix computers and stuff, man, I ain't had to do that stuff no more. And I made like double what I was making as a security guard working in a warehouse. You know, that really improved my life, because basically even my own little side businesses, right? If I can pretty much get one customer a day off of my IT business, right? So I can literally make what I make from my day job in a span of a couple hours, and it's just like that, man. Like, so I'm trying to work on those too, trying to work on my IT support business too, because that's how I can really change things up. I got one customer a couple weeks ago, and man, that was like, woo, like, 170, boom, boom, like, and yep, it's like, man, I would have to work 6 hours to make that for my regular job. But yeah, man, it's all kind of ways you could make bread, man. I don't know if you have any like background, you got a record, like a felony charge or anything like that. That's like kind of making it difficult for you to get jobs, because that's a big thing too. And that goes into like, the little red tapes of why, the elite make it hard for people to actually get equal footing. That's one of those little sneaky things that they do to make it hard. But the thing I say is, with me, because I do have a felony now, because I got into some trouble a couple years ago, I'm not too worried, because one thing that can't nobody stop you with is your will. As long as you have a strong will and you have a work ethic, they're gonna need you no matter what. Like, when I say they, like people with a job, people with employers, they're gonna need you, because you show up to work every day, you work hard, you overwork everybody else. You're the first one there, you're the last person to leave. You're gonna make money. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have a felony, you can do all kind of things, right? So because you don't have a car, why don't you do Uber, bro? Why don't you do Lyft if you ain't got no record? Now it's going. Now you got the whole world. You ain't got no damn felony, man. You ain't got nothing really blocking you, dude. I ain't trying to shit on you or nothing, but why you don't do Uber or Lyft? Why you don't do yeah? Cause Uber will give you a rental car. You can get a rental car or you can get an actual. They'll hook you up with a dealership to actually get a car. And Lyft does the same thing. No, not for IT. They'll give you a car to pick people up, to be like a personal gypsy cab. Yeah, it's okay to want to be a manager, but you got to start somewhere. You know, you got people that drive Uber that make more than people that work at Starbucks. You actually have people that are just like I do DoorDash on the side sometimes. I haven't been doing it for a while because just things been kind of all over the place. But people are actually like the little restaurant workers. They be somewhat jealous because they know what people are making doing Uber Eats and DoorDash. Like, I mean, you work at Popeyes, you're gonna make like $8-9 an hour. One delivery, I can make $9 doing DoorDash. Matter of fact, the most I made like one delivery $18, and it took about 20 minutes to make the delivery. So, I mean, I say all of that to say basically, you got to start somewhere. Like, okay, so you want to be a manager, okay? In order to be a good manager, you have to be a good worker, because most good managers were actually good workers. So you haven't driven much, but that's okay. Start driving. Go to Uber. Matter of fact, let me give you my code. Let me give you my code for DoorDash. But no, you want to do Uber first. So Uber will give you a car to drive for Uber. Once you get approved to sign up for Uber or whatever to drive, then basically you got a car. That's your car. They give you a car, you paying a car payment and all that. Then you could do DoorDash on the side, or you could do Uber Eats, because Uber Eats got a bigger market share than DoorDash. Okay, and I think they just bought Postmates. So let me give you the link for Uber or whatever. Oh, you already, man, you know how to look that shit up. So the thing is, my question is, why you ain't did none of this? SS. You don't have a driver's license? You don't. I mean, what is it? What's the problem? Like, do you have a driver's license or something? I mean, it's up to you, but here's the thing: when you trying to make money, you got to throw excuses out the window. If you're doing okay, you're doing okay. I'm just trying to help you out. But the thing is that this is what I don't understand about young people. This is what I don't understand. When I was in my early 20s, it wasn't the only way that you can get a car was you lease a car from the cab company. It wasn't no Uber and no Lyft and none of this. All these apps and everything, wasn't none of this in my 20s. And definitely 18, 19, you can forget about it. The only way you could get a car, you would lease a car, and you actually have to have a chauffeur's license to be a cab driver. Now, because of all of the technologies that you have now, you can get a car through Uber. Uber will give you a car. All you got to do is drive it through Uber and or Lyft, and then you could do the food delivery when you want to. If you don't want to deal with people, you could just do the food delivery. All you got to do is just drop it off to their house. And then sometimes you could just drop it off at their door because they want you to drop it off at their door and then go about your business. This is why I understand by young people. Y'all have the whole world at your feet. In your case, in a lot of people's cases, ain't nothing stopping you. You can qualify because they definitely exclude people if they got certain felonies and stuff like that. But you talking about you know you don't really make that much or you poor, but you don't want to be not poor. I mean, all it takes is a couple about $10,000 to $20,000, and you ain't even poor no more. You know, you up and coming. You a broke up and coming millionaire. You a broke guy like myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I ain't that far away from being poor, but I ain't trying to go back to being poor now. And I did what it took to get out of being poor because I done did it so many times. I done hit. This ain't my first rodeo falling down and hitting my head and having to get back up. And wiping myself down and walking it off. This ain't my first time doing it. So, I've always, for the most part, been working a job and stuff like that. I've been in IT for over 14 years, but you ain't got no roadblocks, man. All you got to do is take all them excuses and all of that other stuff, and like I said, throw it in the trash can. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Get you a car, man. Let them get you a car, and then you killing two birds with one stone. You got the car, and then you got an extra little side hustle because you ain't got to work all the time. You could just, you got you, you going back to what I said, 15-hour days, 15-hour days, basically you working that 15-hour day shift with basically you a AM gangster and you a M5, you 5 to midnight, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then 5 to midnight. I mean, but here's the thing, man. I ain't, can't everybody be like me, and everybody can't, be on the level of how I think or what I, can't do what I know I could do, and it's a hard time for me to even do it. But the thing is, I'm telling you, I'm giving you a plan that you can follow. 15-hour shift. You know what I'm saying? Basically, that you can use this to be a very wealthy individual. Okay, because 15 hours is a long time. And basically what you could do is, if you just want to be a worker and you want to work for a company and improve your life, you get two jobs within the same time frame, and then you can make about $50,000, $60,000 a year. Then next year, now you got 60 grand, and you ain't got to deal with the fat stanky nurse broads, them stanky CNA, you know, the medical assistants, fat chicks, because you ain't poor no more. Poor guy gets the fat chicks. The poor guy is the fat female servicer. Okay, I mean that's just how it is. Tom Likas, the poor guy gets the fat chicks. That's how it works. You ain't got to deal with the fat chicks no more because now, you you got you a nice little apartment. You got, you know what I'm saying, you following the millionaire savings plan. Okay, you messing with the broke genius, and the broke genius follows his own plan. It's called the Millionaire Savings Plan, and basically you starting off with $1,000, $1,000, and you working your way up the steps, 11 steps to $1,000,000. Okay, so you will not only you working, but you not living check to check because you got $1,000 in your bank account. You're not living check to check. You're not waiting for your next check. You got that $1,000. Then once you get $1,000, you get a reward. You buy yourself something that you want, and then you save 2,000, and then you don't touch it. You leave it in a bank account, and then when you get to 2,000, you get yourself another reward. Okay, and then you work your way up to about 4 grand. Then you get you another reward. But you basically ain't living check to check. I haven't lived check. Even here's the funny thing, SS. Here's the funny thing about this. Even as a poor man, I still wasn't living check to check. Even when I was working at the chicken factory, I used to work at the Coke chicken factory. I still wasn't living check to check because I was still following the Millionaire Savings Plan. I was still following this plan right here. I didn't even have $1,000, but I had $400 in my bank account. I didn't have to ask my sister for nothing. I didn't have to ask my grandma, nobody for nothing, because I had $300, $400 in my account, and then I was getting my little weekly checks, and then by the time I got called back up to work in IT, you know, and then I started moving back up. Then I got my 1K out the way real quick. Then I got my 2K, and about a month or two later, saved 2K, got that, and then 4K, shit, got that. You know what? I will say, when I got to 2K, I had to struggle. I had some struggles because I bought my car. I bought my Mercedes truck for $700. I bought a 245 horsepower V6 2003 ML350 for $700. And then, you know what I'm saying, I basically took all of that money that I saved 2,000, and I had to get back up to get to 4,000. But I got another IT job that paid more, and then basically I shot back up to 4K. Now now I'm stuck on 4K now, but I cheated a little bit. I took the money. I got as high as I saved the most money I've ever saved in my life with following my Millionaire Savings Plan. Okay, I'm gonna be finishing the book probably next month before Christmas. So the thing is that I saved about 6 grand. I've never saved 6 grand in my life that I can recall, other than with this plan, and that was a few months ago. Now I started tricking off a little bit, and I fixed my car up. So I got my reward already for 8 grand, and then I bought a house, which I was supposed to only get that when I got to 16 grand. So I cheated a little bit, but you know, I haven't lived check to check in over 2 years. It's been 2 years since I've lived check to check. I don't even have, a lot of these people have problems with having to borrow money and begging and all that. I haven't had to deal with that in about 2 years. I used to give my sister money when I used to live with her, but I didn't have no problem with no check to check or waiting on no check or nothing like that. Now, I mean, it's been times that I wait for my check, or I like to get paid, but I don't need it. I don't have to get no payday loan, car title loan, none of that goofy shit, pawn shop bullshit, none of that. Because I got money, saved. primarily because of this millionaire savings plan. I don't even care if I had to go back to Starbucks or go work in. I've never worked at Starbucks, but I'm just saying, had to go get a job that I made $12, $13 again. I could still follow this millionaire savings plan, and I'll be a lot better off than the average person, because the average person doesn't have $1,000 saved up. Or they say like 60 to 70% of the population don't even have $2,000 or $1,000 saved as an emergency fund. So with this plan, even if you a low earner, you still can kick everybody else's ass, because like my friend, he makes about 40 some thousand. He's a CNA. He's a senior CNA, which means he's been a CNA for a while. I think he's a medical assistant, but I'm not sure. But the thing is that he make a decent amount of money for a man with just one child. That's not that bad, you know. But he ain't hardly got no money because he don't save. And I told him about this same plan, but he don't follow it. So here's the thing: like, you gonna kick everybody, even if you work in McDonald's. If you follow this plan, you gonna kick all of your employees' ass, even the managers, as far as saving, because when you got $4,000 in the bank, and they ain't even got 400. They begging their boyfriend for $20 so they can get some gas money to go to work tomorrow. And you got $4,000 in the bank working at the drive-through at McDonald's because you following the broke genius millionaire savings plan. And I gotta ask you also, do you how much debt do you have? Because it's not about how much it's not about how much you make. It's how much you keep. Because if you work at McDonald's but you keeping at least $4,000 in your bank account, you ahead of most of the U.S. citizens in America. More than half of the population. You better off than over half of the population if you got over $2,000 in the bank account and you work at McDonald's. You work at Walmart, but you got $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 in the bank. You better than even the managers that don't got no savings, that's living check to check. Because living check to check is it's an emotional. It's almost like an emotional. It's almost like something you really need to go sit down and talk to a therapist about, because you don't got control over your emotions. You don't have control over your life, because a lot of it is because it's not that you don't make the money. It's because you just overspend it. You're hyper spending, all that type of stuff. All of that gets kind of cooled off with the millionaire savings plan, because you don't. It's delayed gratification. You don't get nothing until you get to that reward level. So in my case, I made an executive decision to cheat a little bit because I just wanted to. And when I get $8,000, I get no reward, and when I get 16, I don't get no reward, because I already cheated. I already got the reward. Got me a house already. I upgraded my car, because when I bought my car for $700, I pretty much it was rusted. It had little rust spots. It needed brakes. It needed radio needed to be rewired. Needed a new radio. I got a new set of tires. I spent about $2,000 on upgrades. So I cheated. That was what I was supposed to get when I got $8,000. But I gotta save up some more. But it's kind of difficult to do that because I gotta fix the house up and all that. But yeah, when you follow this millionaire savings plan, you'll be a lot better off than most people. Even if you make less than $20,000, because as long as you have saved and you got a lot of money saved, and then you doing something. Do something. Whatever you want to do, just do something. You ain't gotta be Uber. Do something. If I don't care what, I don't really know what you know how to do. Um, do something to make some extra money. If I'm not saying because people give plasma. You get like $40 each time you donate plasma. I ain't saying you got to do all that, but it's a lot of people to do that. Because you could donate like plasma at least 2 times a week. That's $80. That's $80. That's over $300 a month just donating plasma. I mean, but well, if you poor, you qualify for a link card. So I don't know why you don't get. They don't give single men that much. They only give single men about $100. But here's the thing with food, man. It sounds like it sounds like to me, SS, that you got a little bit of pride about yourself. So here's the thing, man. Why do you not go to food pantries? Because food pantries literally give out food, and there's people with brand new cars that be in the parking lot of food pantries. They literally give out boxes of free food, man. And then you qualify for at least $100 as a single male. If you make less than $20,000, you definitely qualify for a link card or a snap card or whatever we call it, link card in Illinois, but it's called snap. You say impulse. What do you mean by impulse? Oh, well, it sounds like you smoke because you be real jittery. Your nerves is uncontrollable. Well, you wanna lower your intake of sugary drinks, uh, X out the pop and the sugary drinks because that makes you nervous and jittery. The cokes and the pops, sprites, and 7 Ups and all that shit. Even juice. Uh, you throw the try to minimize the sugary drinks, and then you eating candy and shit, chips and all that that's got sugar in it. That shit makes you jittery as fuck, almost like a mini crackhead. Like before, a long time ago. Well, sugar is very similar to crack because actually it's very damaging too because you can get cavities from eating a lot of processed sugar, and it fucks your teeth up. And then when you got cavities, that's actually it messes your entire body up because now you got that same cavity is flowing through your gums, and it's flowing through your bloodstream, and it's infecting your entire body. So it sounds like you probably intaking a lot of sugar, processed sugar, and it makes your ass jittery as hell. And then you need something to calm you down. Yeah, you need to drink. See, yeah, you need to drink a lot more water. That's another thing. Like a lot of people don't drink a lot of water because yeah, the water it'll dilute all of that sugary processed food. It'll dilute it. And then another thing you can take. This is what a lot of people don't know. See, I sell herbs. Um, you buy some cinnamon. You buy the same cinnamon that you use for seasoning, and you want to swallow a little bit of it. What that's gonna do is it takes that processed sugar and it breaks it down, and then it fights off because you don't want to be no old ass nigga with diabetes. So when you get older, you know you want to keep taking that cinnamon, so it'll fight off diabetes and it'll help your metabolism. You know, so yeah, man. I mean, that's how it is in the hood. They don't really. They have these food deserts, and they sell nothing but snacks. What I found out was, I think I'm gonna start investing in coffee because I've been drinking a lot of iced coffee, and that shit, man, clears you out, boy. That damn coffee, man. That shit like boost up your metabolism, man. I drink about 2 things of iced coffee. I done cleared my entire body out. But yeah, man, watch some of my videos, man, where I'm talking about. I actually have a video on the Millionaire Savings Plan. If you do that, you follow that 15-hour shift, replay this video, this live, follow that 15-hour shift method. Then then after about a year, to remind you, get you a BMW or Mercedes. And then, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be smiling when you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be thinking about that 15-hour shift. You're gonna be, you're gonna be thinking about the broke genius, and then you're gonna come back and I want either a nice Cashapp or a super chat. And then, just pretty much say, man, hey, you helped me a lot, blah blah blah. Yeah, man. That's all, that's all you gotta do, bro. Just basically you gotta fight. You just gotta, that 15-hour shift method that will take poverty and utterly destroy poverty. Cause basically you not sleeping that much. You just basically fighting it off. Like you just constantly up working. After you get done with your day jobs, because most people work during the day, you working on your businesses, you uploading on eBay, you doing whatever, promoting your business, you're working your side business, you're doing all of that after you get off of work. Or, if you're really good, you could just do nothing but your business and work that same 15-hour shift. Or you could work your job and then do like Uber Eats after work, or DoorDash or Uber or whatever, Instacart. Man, you got some people, man, doing Instacart and especially now and Uber Eats and all that, making like $50,000 to $100,000 a year. Okay, just freaking delivering freaking hamburgers and wings and pizzas and just dropping people off to work and dropping people off at the airport, picking people up and dropping them back off, like making $50,000 to $100,000 a year doing this. These same people are quiet. They only talk about this when somebody else is talking about it. But they ain't saying nothing because they making money, man. And they don't really, to be honest, they don't even want nobody to really know. It's like a hidden world that I know of that, people know about it, but they really don't know about it. Like they look down on Uber drivers and shit. Like they just show poor chauffeurs that are bums that don't make no money. Man, you got people, man, is getting rich off of this shit, man. I mean, they using that money and they starting actual businesses, man. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was doing it, I was working a regular job, man. I was making $23 an hour. Then when I got off of work, I would get in my car and start driving Uber, make like another like 70, 80 bucks that day. Then go take my tired ass home, go to sleep and do it and rinse and repeat. Gotta put my life on pause again. I used to make money and was getting back into driving. I just went to Baltimore again to get out my sis crib to live with my ex, and we just kept fighting. Yeah, here's the thing, man. I gotta go back to the. Gotta go. Damn, man. I wasn't going. I can't really share it because my video is gonna be fuzzy. But I could just pretty much talk about it, man. That's that Maslow's, man. All it, everything you saying, man. It just goes into Maslow's hierarchy of needs, man. It's when you on that low level, when you're surviving and you're struggling, all of that is going. What you just said is going to be a problem. Your relationships with your family, your girlfriend, you ain't got no girlfriend. You can just about forget it because a woman, it's going to be hard for a woman to actually really respect you and treat you good and all that. It's going to be very difficult because I talked about this shit. And I talked about it. You probably just didn't want to say nothing, but now you know, it's all good. But the thing is that all of this is going to be a problem when you are on that low level as far as income and also just wealth in general. It's going to be a problem. You can just forget. Like, that's why a lot of dudes, people be like, the MGTOW motherfuckers, damn, them no pussy getting motherfuckers, the MGTOW monk ass motherfuckers. Like, here's the thing. A lot of times, that's why it's not necessarily bad to be like, you know what, if I can get a woman or whatever, if she comes to me, and a lot of times, the funny thing is, like, when I stopped trying to get women, guess what happened? I started getting a whole bunch of women. That shit is hilarious, man. I had to tell I used to kick it with my friend, not a lot, but quite often. I'll be in that same bar with him. And I'm like, told him, I was like, man, you know what? I ain't about to chase these women, man. We ain't 18 again. I ain't about to do this shit. Like, nah, I'm good. I just said, man, I am not about to chase these bras. And when I stopped doing that, I noticed, I'm like, here we go. They start coming to me. They start hitting me up and all this other crazy shit. And it's like, literally, I don't chase women. I don't even, like, the most I'll do is go on a dating app. I mean, it's like they just coming to me. Like, but the thing is what I'm trying to say is that when you focus just on your problems and you say you be on some, like, I'm gonna be just focusing on me and what I need to do for the best of my ability, it's a funny thing starts happening. It's like you start the force basically within yourself. You start focusing on your own problems. Then next thing you know, you're not dealing with women as far as focusing on them, like, because like people be like, man, you ain't getting no pussy, like, and all that shit, like basing it off of a competition. But at the same time, fuck all that. You focus on your problems and you deal with your issues. And upon dealing with those issues and everything, the funny thing happens. That energy that you have of having $10,000 in your bank account, having thousands of dollars in your bank account, having your budget in order, and paying off your debts. Guess what happens now? That energy of you sleeping like a baby at night, moving out of a situation that's stressful, all of that energy, guess what that does? That's attractive to other women, just other people in general. That you got that glow now because you done dealt with a lot of problems. You ain't dealing with no, like, negative stuff, because you already dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? So the universe kind of like just kind of realigns, and now things are like magnetized towards you that you never knew that would be magnetized towards you because you done worked on your issues and your problems. And it's like, that's the way stuff happens sometimes, and it's kind of tripped out that it happens like that. But yeah, I mean, that Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the low level sex type stuff, that broke sex, that poor man sex. You'll be lucky if you got a woman that respects you when you don't have that much, and you know, dealing with a woman on humble beginnings. That's why a lot of times dudes that they were in a relationship with a woman and they didn't have that much money, they ended up, that woman stuck with them and motivated them to get out, to get in a better situation. When they got in that better situation, they married that woman, like, the Kendrick Lamar, the Ice Cubes types, and all of that, that they had a woman that stuck with them. Because a lot of times women don't stick with the guy when they going through some like broke shit, poor man type stuff. They just shit on them and talk about what they ain't doing and how they ain't doing it, and actually making the situation worse. And it's like, yes, it is frustrating. And then you get into arguments, fist fights, and all this type of stuff. Police get called and all that crap. And it's like, you think that you are good enough to have sexual intimacy, but actually it's hard because a lot of stuff is based off of need. Like, women even prey on poor men because they know that they have a certain need and they have certain weaknesses due to the fact that they have financial inadequacies. And from those financial inadequacies, they kind of can get away with certain things, like talking to you or treating you a certain way, because a man of means would not even tolerate that at all. I mean, so yeah, man, it's rough, man. It's rough, man. I've been there. I definitely been there. You know. Well, the thing is this, man. When you broke or poor, you gonna have problems, man. Um, Dealing with a lot of chicks you don't want. That's why guys just be like, you know what? I'm just gonna work on my problems for about a good year or two, get myself in a better situation, and they know that they'll be able to really attract a better type of woman, or even court a better type of woman, because they'll have the ability to do so. They'll be more attractive to those said types, and then there you go. Versus, you know, the women that they kind of get now be, you know, not the desirable, as desired as they want, or even they get their money right and then get their passport and go overseas, because, you know, if you got a lot of money, man, you can just go get a woman from another country. I mean, real talk. Like, you know, American women, stay away from me. Like, you could just go overseas, whatever you want, go to that country. I mean, you can meet them on a date now in this country, get their phone number, WhatsApp, whatever, talk to them, you know, video chat with them, plan a trip to go see them. By the time you go see them live in the flesh or whatever. And then if you like each other, you like her or whatever, then meet their family and all that, then file the paperwork, man. Immigration office. Wait your, year, 2, 3 years. Then she flying over here. There go your woman. Shit. You got a Dubai 8. You know what I'm saying? You just had to wait a couple years for immigration paperwork to come through. You know what I'm saying? Got you a Dubai 8 for what? About $5,000. Because that's what it costs to get a passport, fly over there, fill out the immigration, get you an immigration lawyer, file the paperwork for her to come over here, and there you go. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. I'm trying to get out of my dysfunctional ways. I just can't seem to focus. Seriously, even when I was homeless, I had a hard time focusing. I started helping my so-called friends sell drugs. I learned, let's see here. I learned my lesson though, but I'm not like that brother. I want valuable things. I felt so useless for so long. So now I just try to work a lot, but it's just not enough for shit. I need to cop a car though to start. Yeah, man. That's a world that I know a little bit about, but not really, because I stayed away from niggas that sold that white. Now I sold, like I said, I sold a little weed when I was in high school, but that white that white girl and that white horse, man, that the cats that was into that, it was a certain type of individual that was more connected to the street life, to the street gang life, that I stayed away from. I didn't have to even be around. It wasn't really like I grew up in the suburbs, so it was cats selling white, but they were like really, hood type dudes, They were connected, and you knew they were connected, and they wouldn't even let you hang around them, and you definitely weren't trying to hang around them. And it's just a little bit different. So I didn't necessarily have to. It wasn't a lot of dudes around my particular neighborhood peer group that was selling white. Okay, so I ain't never had to. I ain't never got on the package with a dude. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never pushed no package, man. No packages here. Um, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't have never pushed no package for no dude, because I knew what the type of time they was giving for pushing packages. So even pushing heavy weight of weed, what I'm saying, is very difficult, dangerous. But yeah, man, I can't say I know that much about that. Like I can't, cause that type of lifestyle is a very dangerous lifestyle. You're dealing with other people that sell weight and pushing white, and you know all kind of stuff, beefs and shootouts and robberies and all that type of shit. But what I could say is, man, what I just told you, that shit gonna be in a book, man. This is a proven method. You know, um, if you focus, like I say, if you want to follow that plan, follow that plan, man. You gonna start to notice that, and you don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody that. You could tell certain people, but don't tell nobody you got no money, because then they're gonna try to rob you and all that. Don't brag on people like that. But if you follow the plan, start with $1,000. After a while, your sad stories gonna go to where you'll still think about it and feel sad. But after about a month or two, after a year, after you done, followed each step and moved your way up, you'll those sad stories, you won't have to relive them. They done happened already. I mean, I got plenty of sad stories too, but you don't have to relive them, because you got the capital to avoid having to relive those sad stories. You don't have to go live with your girlfriend because you got enough money to go live on your own. You know what I'm saying? Because follow this plan. Because the thing is that even if you're not a millionaire, even if you don't become a millionaire, you at the very least are a thousandaire. It don't take that much to be a thousandaire. So you got some thousands saved. couple thou wows, you know. You ain't gotta worry about living with girlfriend, and all that. I go through, the funny thing, like my ex-wife wants me to live with her, because she knows that I'm, going through transition, living with my sister and all of that, and my sister passed away, and violin, and living with my nieces and fixing my house up and all that. Like, I ain't gotta live with my ex-wife. My ex-wife is the same way, if not worse. She wants me to live with her so she can start being pissed off and arguing and fussing and fighting again. I can't deal with that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't even gotta say nothing. Like, I just told her, okay, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gotta go live with my ex-wife because basically I know we don't get along. It's not it's no rhyme or reason beyond that. Like, I know what that road ultimately leads to. So um the way she talks about it, because she doesn't want to live within reality. The way she talks about it is if she doesn't mention the fact that she wants my dick again, and then upon that she also wants to argue, fuss, and fight again. And it's like, she just want what she wants, but the thing is she won't mention the fact that we don't get along. It's like, oh, okay, well, if that's the case, then if you're just so much of a nice person that I could just live with you and everything is okay, then hold on for a second. Let me go bring my little U-Haul truck right in and move in. You know, and it's just not like that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, thank God that I have the wherewithal that I don't have to deal with that type of shit. You know, so I really should have been on my own months ago, because it's like, when you got the means to move and get yourself in a better situation, that's what you got to do. Because I actually what helped me out to make a faster decision was keep looking at that chart with that Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I'm like, man, I gotta change my life, man. I gotta change my life quick, because you know this I don't have to be on this low level right here. I got the means to get higher up and better my situation. I ain't gotta live here. I could just spend more money and get out of this situation. You know what I'm saying? So when you start saving, you can do that. And then when you got money saved, guess what? You can use some money and and make some money on the side. Not move no packages, but you can maybe buy some products and resell it. Go to the thrift store, buy some stuff and resell it. You can do all that type of stuff. You know, yeah, man. I play chess, man. I know if my thinking is off when I lose. When I'm constantly losing, I know my thinking is messed up. I need to get some rest. I need to meditate. I need to, get my mind right, because if I'm losing, that's a sign that my thinking is off. That's a gauge. But yeah, man. I said quite a bit. You know, yeah, no problem. I said quite a bit. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna re-highlight the stuff that I said. For everybody else. I mean, because sometimes I think this chat does not replay. So I mentioned a 15-hour day, 8 a.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m. to 12 p.m. Now, I got this idea from Boyce Watkins, actually. I know people call him Moist Watkins and all that shit. Man is a highly respectable individual, man. The man is actually a doctor. He's a PhD in economics or something like that. The man knows exactly what he's talking about, okay? The man knows way more than me, way more accomplished than me. He does little memes and stuff. That's where I got the idea from. It's a very, very good idea. If you really, really broke, cue me. It's other surveys that you could do. Make like at least $5-10 just doing that. Ain't nobody. If you ask, because here's the thing, surveys might seem stupid, but go ask somebody for $5 or $10 or $1, and look at how they look at you. But you could do a survey and make a buck. Do a quick survey for like 15 minutes, make $1, and it adds up, and then you could transfer it to PayPal. This is another site you could buy goods and resell them on eBay, Amazon, wherever, your own website. And eBay has a scan tool that you can basically scan items, do retail arbitrage. Okay, so yeah, and I talked about a couple things, man. As far as things that I've been working on, but definitely, man, Kaizen, Kaizen. Self-improvement, constant self-improvement, everyday self-improvement. I don't care if you had a fight with a wino the other day and he bust you upside in the head with a bottle. The next day, just when you see that wine head, go a different way. Cross the street. Run away from him. Because winos don't run that fast. So, this is my millionaire savings plan. Start off with $1,000, you save it, don't touch it, and then once you get the first step, you get $1,000. You pretty much you get a reward. Now the beautiful thing, like I mentioned in my book, let's say if you got more than $1,000 already, let's say you got $4,000 in the bank. You know what you could do? You could just be like, you know what? I want to get, because you in essence already at step 3 at this point. You can get 3 rewards at this point. And then basically from those 3 rewards, now the next goal is to get $8,000. Then in order to get a new reward. And you hold the $8,000 and then you work up to $16,000, $32,000, $64,000, $128,000, $256,000, $512,000. Then the last step you have over $1 million basically. If you work at Starbucks, you work at, you're a waiter at Denny's, you can follow this plan, and after a while, all your peer group, you'll have way more money than that. You'll even have more than the manager because you got $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 saved in your savings account, growing interest in the highest interest account that you can get. And and all these people talking about they ain't got $20. They need to borrow $10 from their mama, their girlfriend, their baby daddy, all this other, peasant talk. You won't even, you'll just be like, oh, okay, damn, man, that's messed up. But you got $4,000 in your bank account. But you don't tell them that. You tell them, you could tell them about the plan too, but you just tell them that. Don't even tell them. I wouldn't advise telling people that you work with about, well, unless they're your subordinates. Like, I wouldn't tell them that what you accomplished so far, because then they're going to get jealous of you. But, basically, you would just be like, dang man, that's messed up. Oh, your baby daddy won't give you $20. Damn. I mean, you can give him $20. I mean, if you want, you know. I mean, you could just be like, all right, I give you $20. You know, maybe she might, maybe she might do some strange things for some change. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she might put her boyfriend to the side. And make you her boo thing. I don't know. But basically, man, you improve your lifestyle. It's basically just self improvement, and then you're paying off your debts. If you got debts, you set up a debt snowball, or you basically set up some type of debt payoff plan to get yourself out of debt, included with this program. If you want some more information, I've got plenty of videos where I talk about debt snowball, I talk about this plan and all kind of other stuff. But this plan changed my life. This is why you hear the confidence in my voice. This is why basically I don't have a lot of problems that I used to have. It's because of this plan right here. So 11 steps to $1 million. There you go. So yeah, man. I mean, you definitely you wanna move yourself up. I mean, I kind of talked about this because I talked about the whole peasant stuff because in my video where I talked about blacks in Europe, I mean, it's really no different, man. And now you basically, the peasants were the serfs. They literally were like, they lived on the land and they had a lord that ruled over them. The lord, he basically was up under the prince and the princesses and the kings and the queens and all of that. But basically, man, you got people that just wanted to be serfs. They didn't want to be squires. So the squire was the knight in training. You got people that just want to be serfs. They don't want to be squires. You know what I'm saying? They don't even want to be knights in training. They just want to be squires. Like I would consider myself. I'm actually trying to be. I'm a knight, but I'm trying to be a baron. Okay, I'm trying to be a baron. I ain't trying to just be no knight. I want to be a baron. So I'm past a squire. But you got people that just want to be serfs, man. They just want to be, man, serfs, man. That's all they want to be, man. They just want to be serfs. I ain't on that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I mean, I said a lot tonight. I gotta go to work tomorrow. Um, I gotta do me another 15-hour shift. And I hope you can take this and formulate it to a plan, and help you out. Uh, Hope everyone that listens to this on the playback or tuned in to this, it was beneficial for you. Definitely will be some more Kaizen talk in the future. I will close this one on out for the night. Guys, have a good one.